We now have got episode 4 of The Walking Dead season 11. This episode is called Rendtion, and if you have not seen this episode as well as the other 3 episodes in The Walking Dead season 11, this is going to contain full spoilers, so you've been warned. So this episode picks up right where episode 3 picked up, but instead of following Negan and Maggie and the group we followed in last week's episode, this time around we're actually following Daryl, which I was quite happy by because last week we saw Daryl run off with Doc. I knew we were going to find out what happened, but immediately I wanted to find out what happened. Daryl, so far this season, we've seen a bit of him, but I feel like we haven't really spent a lot of time with Daryl. Of course, episode 1 he goes off with Dog, episode 2 we see him kind of just wandering around the tunnels, but I feel like we haven't spent a lot of time with him, so to see Daryl a good bit in this episode, by a good bit I mean majority of the episode, it was pretty great. But first off, we see him and Dog running off, and they run into Leah, where Daryl then gets kidnapped, taken away, he gets captured. But I knew going into this that Leah was going to be a Reaper. I don't know if that was public knowledge or if that was just something I picked up on by the trailers, just hearing people talking around about it. But I don't know if that was actually announced by AMC. So going into it, I knew it was Leah. You could tell by the way she was standing. You could tell by her eyes that it was Leah. So it was great to actually see Daryl and Leah reunite, especially because they are both in such different places now from when they last were together. And it was great to see Leah just make a return. I always knew she was going to return from when we saw her in, I want to say episode 18, but it could have also been 19 of season 10. But I was really happy just to see Leah make that return again. You can tell their relationship, they still have feelings for each other, but you can tell they've both been through so much since then that their relationship isn't exactly where they left it off. But of course, she is a Reaper, so she does capture Daryl. They do start torturing him for answers on the group. He's quite adamant that he doesn't know them. The group that he used to be with had kind of got into a fight with the wrong people and they had all died. And the people he's with there now are just people he's known for a little over a week and he's just using them for supplies. He keeps saying that, keep repeating himself over and over again, saying that's all he knows, that's all he knows. Leah doesn't buy it, so you kind of get a bit back and forth there where they're constantly arguing. We get to meet Pope, and I don't think I've ever met this actor before, but I recognise he's got a very kind of familiar looking face. I looked into it, I can't see anything I know him from, but his look, it's just so intimidating. He's got the big mustache, the big thick glasses, but he's just such an intimidating presence. He's there and you feel like every time he's in a room, he demands the attention of everyone in that room, and he kind of lets on the fact that you don't want to mess with this guy. Very reminiscent of when Negan was in charge of the Saviors. Every time Negan was in the room, you feel like everyone just kind of shut up and listen to what he had to say, and I feel like Pope is very much like Negan was back in the Savior arc. But we do get to see that actually a member of the Reapers had been killed by our group, and because of that, you see everyone's very kind of affected by it. I was kind of going into it expecting the Reapers to be, okay, one person dies, that's it, we just keep going on, we just keep moving on, kind of a bit like the Whisperers. I don't know why I thought that. Of course they're going to feel the death of their members, but they all feel it massively. Leah in particular, because she's known him for so many years. It's also revealed that not only did they know each other before the apocalypse, this group has been together for 12 years in the apocalypse, well, probably longer than that. So this group has been together the same amount of time Daryl and Carol have been together, and Daryl and Maggie and all them. This group has been together just as long as them. But we also find out that it's only 15 members. So the group that we saw at the end of episode 2 and at the start of episode 3, that's it. They don't have any other members. So that kind of lets me on to believe that our group does have a fighting chance. When I saw them, I was thinking, how the hell is our group going to defeat them? But now to see that they only have 15 people, I think our group does have a fighting chance. The fact that they may be all trained mercenaries, but there is only 15 in them. So there's only so many people 15 can kill. So I do think our group does have a fighting chance moving forward. Daryl does also give Leah some information. He kind of tells her information that is truthful, but also not fully, because he says to her he's never lied to her. And he gives her information like saying, oh yeah, I don't know their names, but there's a priest with a shotgun, there's a lady, and there's a guy who just does not know when to shut up, obviously talking about Negan. So he says that's their leaders. So Leah takes that information, she gives it to Pope, and then it kind of goes off somewhere pretty cool. We also get to see that they do, in fact, you tell Leah does admit to Daryl she still does love him, but something really good, and I actually wasn't fully expecting. Daryl and Leah get locked inside a room. All of a sudden, something starts coming under the door. It's petrol or gas, whatever you want to call it, and the whole building gets caught in fire. So they're inside a burning building. Quickly, Daryl snaps into action. He breaks a window. He gets Leah out and he gets himself out, just proving how badass of a character Daryl actually is. And not only do we get to see how much of a badass he is, also Pope gets to see how badass he is. And he likes not only the fact that Daryl was able to survive that to show how capable he is, but he also liked that not only did he survive it, but he also put Leah first. He likes that Daryl was willing to sacrifice himself to make sure Leah gets out, really proving his point that this is someone you can trust, this is someone you want on your team, and Pope has just welcomed him with open arms now because of that. And he does kind of say he says the whole thing was a test. It was a test to make sure he's worthy. He was born through fire, and now he's a member of the Reapers. So it's really cool now to see Daryl as part of the Reapers, because we've never seen Daryl of part of any other group besides our main core group. He had the opportunity to be a savior. Of course, he turned it down. But now he's doing a Reaper. You know, he's not an actual Reaper. He's a Reaper in their eyes, but he's only doing it to get what he needs to get for our main group. Because, of course, Daryl's not going to abandon our group to be with the Reapers. He's going to try and save Leah. He's going to try and bring Leah back. I don't know how all that's going to play out, but you know Daryl's not going to stay with them. There's no way Daryl's going to stay with them. Not only is he not going to stay with them, but they're also not going to survive. I don't see them lasting past episode 8. I think episode 8, this whole first half, is going to be the Reaper storyline. Then the second and third bit are going to be the Commonwealth. So I can't see the Reapers continuing on. The only person I can see continuing on is Leah, but that is up in the air because I don't know if Leah will want to go back to Alexandria. I really don't know how that's going to play out. But you do get to see Pope revealing his backstory, and it was quite good. I enjoyed seeing the backstory of Pope because, well, we didn't get to see it, but we got to hear it. He's explaining it to Daryl, and it just makes me kind of like the Pope character more. Before, he was a bit of a mystery. Now we actually understand a bit of his backstory, a bit of what he's doing, a bit of what he is all about, and you do kind of feel for him more. Not so much feel as in like what he's doing is okay, but you do understand why they're doing what they're doing. He wants to keep his family safe. He wants to make sure everyone is okay. And that's something a leader would do. You wouldn't question if Rick done that. Rick's whole plan when he got to Alexandria, exactly what they done. They took over, I think it's called Meridian. You see the Reapers took over Meridian. Rick's plan was originally to take over Alexandria. So like you wouldn't question if Rick done that. So again, it's the same situation with Rick and Negan. Rick attacked Negan first, but everyone hated Negan for killing Glenn, even though Rick killed 30-40 people. It's the same thing right there. But as now Daryl is a Reaper, there's someone talking. Apparently, one of the Reapers, the one who actually died, his body had been brought back by one of the other Reapers, and we find out that the other Reaper, he said he tried to save him, but in fact we find out that he actually ran away, leading us to believe that, okay, this guy's a coward. The whole conversation, Pope is trying to get the information out of him. Everyone's like, just stop, leave him alone. He went through a lot today, let's talk about it tomorrow. Leah's saying the same thing, and Pope's like, no, I know this is not true. If you want to be able this I cannot trust this man with my life. I can't trust this man with any of your lives. And then Pope gets the man and he throws him in the fire. Quite a brutal death. The guy even tries to get up, but Pope is holding him down in the fire, showing that Pope is a brutal man. He will do anything to make sure his family is safe, and even if one of his family members he can't trust anymore, he's going to kill that man to make sure the rest of his family is safe. So Pope is someone I am very intrigued to see moving forward. I would love to see him actually get to meet up with Gabriel, because Gabriel's the priest, he is the Pope. I would love to see kind of them go back and forth, because we find out Pope is very much a religious man. So I'd love to see Pope and Father Gabriel be talking back and forth about their religious beliefs. I don't know if we're going to get it, because we haven't seen Gabriel since episode 3. We saw him in episode 3 for a small bit, but I don't know where Gabriel is. I don't know if he's still making his way to Meridian. He doesn't really know where it is, or if he's just going to make his way back to Alexandria. Don't really know. Really excited for episode 5. I think episode 5 might be a Commonwealth episode, just because we haven't seen them since episode 2, but I honestly don't know. I'm very excited. If you want to hear my thoughts on episode 5, click that subscribe button so you can come back and hear my future thoughts on episode 5 of The Walking Dead Season 11. Click that subscribe button as well if you want to hear my future thoughts on World Beyond. We actually got a trailer for that. Jade, this is going to be in Season 2, so quite excited for that. And we got a poster and a trailer for Fear the Walking Dead Season 7. So all excited for everything Walking Dead stuff coming in the future. And if you want to hear my thoughts on all that, click that subscribe button so you can come back and see it all. And as always, thanks for watching.